Hello Dino Peeps, another ARK Survival Ascendant video from me to you, and today's topic is let's look at all of the changes ARK Survival Ascendant will bring to the game that have not been in ARK before. In the beginning I will talk about a lot of technical stuff, and then I will also talk about content that's going to be added to ARK Survival Ascendant, and here I will try to give you my interpretation what that means, just as a small disclaimer. The big overshadowing topic of ARK Survival Ascendant is Unreal Engine 5. And Unreal Engine 5 will come with a few things that have been hyped in the press in the past months. One of these things is Nanite. Nanite is the geometrical system that's coming with Unreal Engine 5. In the past, developers were limited to how many polygons they can use in their mesh and in their assets. Now with Nanite, they don't have to worry about that anymore because Nanite splits polygons into micropolygons, and those are only loaded when they are seen by the player. That means the player can have really high resolution detailed surfaces without having big issues with performance. While having many polygons before Unreal Engine 5 was terrible for the performance of games, with Nanite this is not a problem anymore. And this is the reason why Unreal Engine 5 can create almost photorealistic environments without grilling your PC. The next technology that comes with Unreal Engine 5 is Lumen, and Lumen is a tremendous improvement to the light system. Lumen allows environments to reflect lights in a more realistic way than any other light technology before. Light will now also shine through surfaces that are translucent. Unreal Engine 4 had its issues with this. For example, if you have a tree, light can now shine through the leaves because that's what light does. It didn't work in Unreal Engine 4, but as you can see here in Unreal Engine 5, this feature makes it easier to as well create almost photorealistic environments. The next technology that's going to be supported by ASA is RTX Direct Illumination, and that's another technology that improves light. Again, the priority is creating realistic light without killing your PC, and the big thing about RTX Direct Illumination is that you can have thousands and thousands of little lights on your map that realistically simulate reflections within your environment. Not only that, if you have a surface that has an oddly shape and that creates a reflection on another surface, the reflection will have the same shape. Previously, you had to place light sources and light spots in your scene in order to simulate light. And if you were a good and talented developer, you were able to make this look as realistic as possible, but it was always a little bit odd to the eye. Now with RTX Direct Illumination, this is a thing from the past because it will simulate the light as you know it from real life. Again, my little disclaimer, I'm not a super pro in this topic and I just read into everything that I'm talking about right now. So if you are interested in all of these technologies that are coming with Unreal Engine 5 and with ASA, I'm going to link you all of the sources to the information that I found into the video description. The next thing that we're going to get with ASA is dynamic water. In ARK, water is usually a surface, and when we're below it we get like some weird effect, but it does not react to us or to the environment. Here you can see a demo that was made by Joe Garth. This is not ARK, but Joe made a brush pack for a beach scene in Unreal Engine 5, which he is also selling in the Unreal Engine marketplace. And here you can see how dynamic water can look in Unreal Engine 5. If you want to have a look at the full video, I'm also going to link it in the video description. In general, the performance with Unreal Engine 5 is going to be improved compared to Unreal Engine 4. As you can see here, that's what happens when you're loading a large base on official servers in. And this base doesn't even have animals in it. Unreal Engine 5 should be able to load these in no time and without issues to your performance. One of the biggest changes for me when I read the announcement was that your character is now bound to your account and not so much to a server. This character saved on your account can then transfer between servers and even platforms, and you can take your character, your items and your animals with you. How exactly this is going to look, we don't know yet. We just got like a brief description, and to me it sounds a little bit like the Valheim system, where you have your character, which is kind of locally also cloud-wise saved, and then you can join any server server with the character you have saved in your cloud. But just keep in mind that we're not going to see this account system on release because, as they said, the server transfers will be turned off until Scorched Earth hits, so there won't be any traditional server transfer as we know it, and I'm not even sure if the server transfer as we know it will continue to exist anyway. And then we have the insane big modding updates that are going to change the play style of a lot of people. I'm not a modder, so I cannot tell you and explain to you in detail how things are working, but I at least try my best. I also sent Wildcard a few questions to the modding system, so if I have infos about how that works and if they answered, then I'm going to make another video in which I'm going to explain it further. As far as I understood, modding is going to be on Overwolf. You're going to have an in-game menu in which you then can choose which mods you're going to play with. Mods will then be available on console and on PC and on any other platform they're going to offer for ASA. Mods are also going to be free and premium mods which you can pay for. They have not sent enough infos for me to tell you how that works, but I know they have asked modders to contact them if they want to be in the premium mod program. I also don't know if Overwolf is the exclusive platform or if it's just for the cross modding platform, and that there is a chance that you can still have Steam mods that you use for Steam only servers. This is one of the questions I sent to Wildcard, and if I know anything about it, I will let you know. And one thing that was mentioned twice in both of the announcements that I saw was the full blueprint modding. And honestly, I have asked 3 modders what this actually means, and everyone was just shrugging their shoulders and were like, yeah, we don't know either. I also contacted Wildcard about it, and I will let you know what it exactly means. For me, I assume it means that a lot of stuff that was hard-coded in ARK Survival Evolved is now integrated into the game through blueprints, which means modders have access to it, because usually stuff like the breeding mechanic could not be changed via mods because it was hard-coded into the game. If this is now put into the game with blueprints, then modders could change it. That's my interpretation. I'm not sure if that's right, but I will let you know if I know more. And now let's jump to the content updates that are going to be in ARK Survival Ascended. Studio Wildcard is going to renew every single asset that's in the game. And I know we have seen questions asking if we're going to get new dinos. I don't think we're going to get completely new dinos like we saw with the TLC updates, but I think that the assets of the dinos and basically everything that's in the game will be renewed. The main reason is that Unreal Engine 5 now supports 8K textures. The thing is, I don't think that an 8-year-old game has textures that are in 8K. And I also don't think that they still have the files so that they can just throw them in their computer and yell enhance at the monitor. I mean, maybe they have a better file system than I have. This could still be, but I assume that redoing all of the assets and making them fresh and new is the easier and faster way to do it. And that not only contains dinosaurs, but it contains basically all structures, all foliage, all animals, basically everything you look at in the game. And next we are going to get to some balance changes, and this is something that will mainly hit PvP, I assume, because a lot of things that they mentioned does not affect PvE in the slightest. One thing is changes to caves, and they mention crouch spots. So I'm not sure if they make the caves more or less accessible. For PvP, I would almost assume less accessible. Then they're going to balance mechs, which is also something you hardly use in PvE. I think the only time I have used the mech in PvE is when I did the King Titan Alpha. The next change they announced was balance changes to aberration creatures. And here I'm also not sure. Does it mean that they're changing the creatures in aberration, or does it mean that they bring more creatures into aberration, or maybe less creatures? We don't know, but aberration is still far ahead, so maybe this is something we will then know in the future. And we're also finally getting the update that was actually meant to be still in ARK Survival Evolved, and that is the Let More Dinos Breed TLC. I know that's not the official name, but that's just how I name it now. And I personally know everyone's mother, mother-in-law, brother and father had the griffin on their list to finally be breedable. At least when I looked at Twitter and what people messaged the devs after they had the last Make Everything Breedable TLC, everyone wanted the griffin to be breedable. They didn't mention the griffin in particular, but you know, we see you devs, we see you. And then we have more quality of life changes, and I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad change, because they're going to improve the dino AI, and my first thought was, hey, when I tame a dino and I let it follow me, then it finally doesn't get stuck in trees anymore. But then I remember that they might also change the AI of wild dinos, and we needed their very stupid little dinosaur heads in order to trap them. So yeah, good luck trapping dinosaurs in the future, I guess. And now a big change for everyone who loves to take screenshots in the game, and I think Unreal Engine 5 is very inviting for us to take a lot of screenshots. And did you know that there are people who exclusively join games just in order to take screenshots, like doing in-game photography? I didn't know. I found that out. It's fascinating. But for people like this, and for people like us as well, who just want to take funny screenshots and who want to show our colorful dinos to our friends, we will get a new photo mode. ARK Survival Evolved had a photo mode as well. It was Ansel and it was a catastrophe, and it was only available in single player, and I hope I never have to deal with it again. And now to the interesting changes, especially for this channel. One change they announced that got my heart beating a little bit faster is that we are going to be able to find wild dino babies that we can then tame and let grow up in our base as our own. We have seen wild dino babies in the past, but this time we are going to see more of them, and I'm really stoked. Another thing they also announced was a dino and baby management quality of life system. I have no idea what that means, but I've seen people suggesting to include a structure in which you can breed dinos in order to avoid big dino groups, and I know S Plus has something like that, and I know the S Plus dev is now working for Wildcard, so maybe we have something going on there, who knows. And do you like more changes in ASA? We're going to also have a minimap and pings, and it's going to be the same mechanic that we already know from the survival of the fittest. Very handy. I really need minimaps in games because I get lost all the time. I got lost in my own base. So that I didn't have a minimap and that I still survived in this game, it's a miracle to me. But now we're getting minimaps, we're getting pings to finally show our friends what we mean and what we're pointing at, and I'm really happy about this. The next thing hardly anyone talked about was that we're getting a better character creation. I mean, have you looked at the ARK Survival Evolved characters? I'm not a big fan. I'm basically the opposite of a fan when it comes to the characters, and I have been tweeting at the devs that I want to have a TLC just for the characters. And them announcing that they are improving the character creation is something I want to see, and I hope my very frequent tweets to the devs have helped for them to make this decision. And then another very helpful change is that we're going to get new structures. We're going to have like displays and smaller teleporters and stuff like that. Also things that really remind me of S Plus things. So maybe we get more S Plus integrations into ASA. Another very nice change is that we're going to get a dedicated chibi slot, and we're getting a tab just for our skin. So you don't have to put your skins on your armor anymore. You don't lose your skin accidentally when you throw away armor, and you don't have to remove the skin just to see what armor you're wearing. So this is a very nice change. I really like it. And then we had a few preview pictures of things that we now know that are changed, and that's the structures. The structures are going to be bigger, and they're going to fix the snap points. And I already talked to Captain Fat Dog when I heard that they're changing the snap points, asking him if he's scared that it will probably break all of his traps, but he said he's more excited to see what he can do with the new structures. Now that they also changed their shapes, I think there is a lot for him to explore with these new changes. And now to the last point, and I know that's not super exciting for everyone, but for a few of you, and that is that ARK the Survival of the Fittest will be integrated in ARK Survival Ascended. And from what I know, it is still the plan. I don't think they're also going to include the Scorched Earth map for the Survival of the Fittest, just because from what I can tell, they have been like super busy with everything, and them cutting out Scorched Earth in general. I don't think they're going to add the Survival of the Fittest Scorched Earth to the game. But nonetheless, they are going to add local lobbies so you can meet with your friends before the game and then join the game together. Because we all know how it is, you all try to join a server together, the server fills very quickly, and the last friend that you were waiting for was like, oh, I'm just quickly getting something to drink, and then the server's full, the game starts, and he just comes back to the computer and couldn't join the game, and everyone has to leave and go to the next game. That's not an issue anymore. Now you can join a local lobby, equip your cosmetics, and then jump into the game with your friends. And this is basically everything I could find in the official announcement for ARK Survival Ascended. I'm going to keep you updated if we find out more things, and especially when I find find out about the things that I asked Wildcard about. And tell me what of these changes that I told you now are your favorite. My personal favorite are the wild dino babies, then the quality of life changes for the dino management, and especially the character changes. So let me know in the comments what's good for you and what changes get you excited. And I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good one, bye!